Welcome to Sam's Russian Adventures. I'm Sam, an English guy living in provincial Russia. Now, the last video I did was a review of all the YouTubers who are foreign that live in Russia and make videos in English. It went down really well, and some of you were really pleased that you got to find out about other YouTube channels you didn't know existed. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to cover all the Russian YouTubers who make videos on YouTube in English. And a lot of you will be very pleased because the majority of them are women. So I've decided to come for a little walk around this neighborhood where my friend lives. It's a nice peaceful day. The only noise we should have is like guard dogs annoying us, but we can put up with that, can't we? This is my mate's house. He refuses to let me film inside because it's always he's got a kid. There's loads of toys everywhere. So the very first person on this list, well, should we start with the king or should we start with the queen? I'm all for Ravnopravia, so let's start with the queen first and then do the king. So the queen of YouTube, of creating videos in English about life in Russia, has got to be Ellie. 100%. Absolutely love her videos. Ellie is a Russian girl who travels all around Russia and shows all different amazing aspects of Russian culture. She goes to local tribes, to places you've never heard of, to the mountains, to the Far East, to the South, everywhere. She travels around and shows all the different aspects of life in Russia. One thing that I really like about Ellie is she's really not political. I mean, she might have strong political views, but she doesn't talk about them in the video, which makes her channel so much more entertaining. She has to be the queen, and for this reason she is #1 in this video. Now, I'm not really putting everyone in order, but she deserves probably to be in first place. So if you're not subscribed to Ellie, go and subscribe to her channel now because you'll absolutely love the content. So #2, we've already talked about the queen, so let's talk about the king, and the king has to be Sergey Baklyakov. He is the OG. I think he's probably the very first channel when it comes to Russians making content in English about life in Russia. I absolutely love Sergey's channel. I used to follow him when I was just starting out. I was thinking, you know, who do I follow? Who do I take ideas from? Who do I admire? And it's Sergey. Now, Sergey gets some hate because Sergey tells the truth how it is, and some people are not ready to hear that. I really respected him when, back in the day, he called out Bald and Bankrupt. He called Bald and Bankrupt out, which is something that not many YouTubers are brave enough to do, but he did it because he has his morals, and he said, right, this guy is not someone I like, don't like the content, I'm going to call him out. So Sergey Baklyakov actually goes around and does live streams in different cities, like 2-3 hours long. He'll go to a city and he'll do a whole live stream walking around. I like that Sergey has his morals. He knows what he likes, he knows what he thinks, and he's not afraid to share that with the audience. So if you're really looking for a channel with a Russian person who's going to show you about life in Russia and he's going to tell you what he thinks about stuff and he's not going to hold back, Sergey Baklyakov is a must. If you're not subscribed to Sergey, go and subscribe now, because he is going to show real life in Russia, in all different aspects of life in Russia. The next YouTuber is probably the best YouTuber when it comes to creating amazing content and documentaries, and that is Constantine. Constantine from Real Reporter. He's absolutely incredible. If you look at me, for example, I'll make a video and the video will take maybe a day to shoot, and then I will spend another day putting it all together. The videos that Constantine makes will take 3 or 4 days to shoot, and he'll spend another month putting them together because he's a perfectionist and his videos are like mini documentaries. He'll go to different towns, to different areas of Russia, and he actually does many documentaries with other foreigners and other YouTube channels, which is really interesting. I've just finished watching one when he went to Cirata with an Italian guy. Very, very interesting. Actually, Constantine made a video with me, and something that Constantine has the ability to do is to actually take somebody and something which is not really that interesting a story and turn it into a mini documentary and get like a couple of million views for it. And that just shows how incredible a filmmaker and a documentary maker he is, because he'll show amazing aspects of Russia. He shows Russia from his side, but he is always open to finding out new things, and he's able to take people and stories which wouldn't be that amazing on themselves and make them really, really popular. And that's why Constantine from Real Reporter is 100% a channel that you must subscribe to if you want to learn about life in Russia. The next channel on this list is Lisa with Love. Vasilisa is a girl who was born in the far east of Russia in Vladivostok, and she's done videos traveling around a little bit, and now she's moved to Moscow. And she's rented an apartment in Moscow, and she shows you her life in Moscow now, what it's like for a girl. I think she's 23 years old. She's very beautiful, she's very polite, very well spoken, and she shows what it's like for a girl at 23 years old to film life in Russia, in Moscow, and show what it's like for her to live there, and the kind of problems that she faces on a daily basis, the things that she finds out, the interesting places she goes to. It's a very interesting channel to watch. So if you're interested to learn about what it's like for 23-year-old young woman living in Moscow and going through the daily struggles, and also going to interesting and fascinating places, and you want to learn more about Russia, then definitely go and follow Lisa. Lisa with Love is a channel. Make sure you subscribe, show your love. The next channel on this list is Different Russia channel. It's made by a woman called Valeria, her husband Alex, and obviously not to forget their dog Sheffield. Now, these people also are some of the OGs of creating content about life in Russia. Their channel is about 8 years old, I think. I know that their channel was running before mine started, and some of the content that I like best about their channel is when they go to the dacha. When the dacha season opens, when it comes to springtime, and they start going to the dacha and they go and buy things that they need to maybe plant food or to repair the dacha or to upgrade it. They also show their life in just in their town, the supermarkets, the kind of shops they need to go to. I remember purchased an apartment and they refurbished it all. It's very interesting to go and watch and see Russia through their eyes and see the life that they live in Russia. It's very interesting to get a real kind of glimpse of what it's like for a normal person to live in a suburb of Moscow and to show real daily life. But more than anything, I like when they go to the dacha, when they go for walks with their dog Sheffield. It seems very homely and it's really interesting to watch. So I recommend you to watch Different Russia channel. Go and subscribe, show your love. So this is my friend's house, and it does need a layer of paint, but it's absolutely incredible inside. You might have seen the videos we make there sometimes in summer. He's got an outdoor swimming pool. We go into the banya that he's got at the back of the house, in the guest house, go jump in the pool afterwards. We always have fun there in summer. He's a really, really good guy. So the interesting thing is, I'm not actually following all of these channels myself. I asked my friends who are in my Telegram chat group, which you can join if you want to. It's just a Telegram chat group where you can ask me any question you want. The link is below the video. So I asked, you know, which channels do you follow? And I got lots of recommendations. The next channel is somebody whose videos I've watched every now and again, but I don't follow on a regular basis. But she's very entertaining, she's very beautiful, and she's very interesting. Her name is Svetlana. I think her channel is Svetlana from Russia, and or maybe Sveta from Russia, and she's from Surgut in Siberia. She does travel quite a bit as well. I've seen her in lots of videos in Sochi, and she does lots of lifestyle videos, shows what it's like when she goes on holiday, when she goes to the beach. She does videos about what it's like living in Russia under sanctions. Lots of different types of videos about her life and the way she sees Russia. It's a very interesting channel. Obviously, she's extremely beautiful. So, you know, if you're a guy and you want to watch a channel about an interesting Russian person, and also you're caring about how beautiful a person is, then definitely watch Cirata, because she's an absolute stunner. She's very interesting, she's a very nice person. So I recommend you to watch Cirata from Russia to learn about Sveta, her life in Russia, and what it's like to live in Siberia. Now, this next channel is not a channel that I watch a lot of, but I've seen a few of her videos here and there, and a lot of my subscribers have said that they really like her channel, and that's Agent Nesty. I'm guessing her name's Nastia Anastasia. So what she does is she creates content about her life and lots of little things that maybe people don't know about. Like I've seen videos where she talked about her village, about school life, things like that. I know that she does kind of base her videos on, I'd say, maybe impressions of what people think in Western Europe about what life in Russia is like. But who am I to judge her, right? She sees Russia the way she sees it. She does see it, I guess, from a slightly negative standpoint, but that's up to her. If that's the way she sees Russia, then let her show what she wants to show. It's not my cup of tea, but probably I'm not her cup of tea either. And I'm all for equality. So if you want to go check out her channel, she's a very interesting person. She's very charming, nice to watch, very well spoken. And she'll show you some interesting things about Russia, perhaps based on stereotypes a little bit, but that's her thing and that's what she loves to do. So if you want to go and check out her channel, then yeah, go and subscribe, show some love. Say hello from Sam. The next channel on this list is Simple Russian Girl, Milena. Now you may have seen Milena for the first time on one of my videos over on my B-Road Russia channel. So Milena from Simple Russian Girl is a girl from Vladimir. And Vladimir is considered a small town in Russia. It's actually 43rd place or 73rd place, depending on which list you look at. So it's not the biggest town in Russia by a long way. And actually, Vladimir and Vladimir region is considered to be one of the poorest regions as well. Milena has a few college degrees. She's also an actor. She's also a model. And she has moved to the big smoke, to Moscow, as so many people do from Vladimir. The young generation, they maybe stay in Vladimir until they study, until they finish their education, and then they move to Moscow to try and make it in the big city, because Moscow is where it all happens. And obviously we're only a couple of hours from Moscow, so it's the next step for younger people. It's older people like me that move back to Vladimir. Once we've had all the fun and we've tried our life, we've been successful or not, we then maybe come back to Vladimir, buy a house, go to the banya and do all those kind of things. Whereas Milena, she's a young girl and she's just beginning to live her life away from her mom and from her grandma, and she's in Moscow showing the struggles of a simple Russian girl from a small town in Moscow. The next channel on this list is Dianna Listopad. Now Dianna is a very successful YouTuber in Russia and in Russian, but she's just started her new channel in English, doing the same kind of thing. Now Dianna is very, very professional. She's very good at shorts and very well known throughout Russia. She helps lots of other YouTubers and Instagrammers to teach them how to succeed with social media. And she's just started her English YouTube channel too. I actually made a video about her because she's so cool. She really is a cool girl. She travels all over the place. She's based in Cirata, but she makes these little comedy shorts as well that are really, really funny, and she goes on adventures. One of the things she often says at the beginning of her videos are, as if I didn't have enough cringe in my life already, I decided to go do this, and then she'll go do something really crazy. So I recommend you to follow her channel. She's very interesting. You'll really enjoy her content. So go and subscribe and say hello from Sam. The next person we have on the list is Sasha Meets Russia. Now Sasha is a Russian-American girl who is fluent in Russian, and actually she spent most of her life, from what I understand, in the US. She's now moved to Russia with her Russian mom and her American dad. And I'd say that her content is pretty similar to mine, where she does street interviews, but she does two things better than me. First of all, her content is incredible. Right, really incredible. The camera work, the editing, it's all top notch. It's almost like, you know, she's got a whole production team behind it. It's really, really good. And then the second thing, obviously she's a very, very beautiful and attractive woman. So if you like my content, then you'll love her content, because her content's like mine, but better, basically. So I thoroughly recommend you to go and check out her channel, go subscribe, say hello from Sam, and show your support. So here we've got the rubbish, and then we've got a bike. Is the bike in the rubbish, or is it just parked next to the rubbish? Next on the list we have the Chikos family. Dan and his wife and kid. And I tell you what, I do not consider Dan to be a Russian blogger, which is weird because obviously he is a Russian vlogger, right? But he's almost like crossed over. He is, well, he's created like a family kind of YouTube channel. I don't think the people that watch him are particularly maybe interested in Russia so much. They're just interested in him and his family. And Dan could be anywhere in the world and he'd still get lots of viewers who are not necessarily interested in Russia. Obviously it's great to watch Dan and to learn about life in the Krasnodar region where it always seems perfect. The weather's always good and, you know, I'm so jealous that I should really move there. But one of the things that I love about Dan's channel is it has crossed over. It has crossed over. He's the only channel on this whole list which has actually crossed over, and is not specifically a channel to show life in Russia. It's about Dan, about family life. That's what it's about. Now obviously Dan does show aspects of living in Russia, but it's more about his family growing up, going on little adventures, going on little excursions, going on holiday, going to the shops with the family. And it's really, really interesting. So I thoroughly recommend Dan's channel, not even just as a channel to learn about Russia, but just about a simple man with his family life. Very interesting. So the next channel on the list is Made in Rusland. Now to start with, because of the name, I thought, well, this must be a channel about someone from Germany maybe. Is that what they call Russia? Rusland? But it seems that it's not the case. It's run by a lady called Marina. I've been told she's a travel agent, and I've watched a few of her videos, but not many. But my subscribers have told me that it's a great channel to watch, and so she's made this list. Marina makes a lot of content showing what it's like in Russia right now after sanctions, and her channel isn't very old, but it's already got loads of views and loads of subscribers, so it must be doing something right. So not long ago, thanks to my subscribers, they convinced me to subscribe to her channel. So if you're interested to learn more about life in Russia, what it's like through the eyes of Marina, what it's like living in Russia right now, how the sanctions have affected Marina's life and life in Russia in general, then go and subscribe to her channel, like her videos, and leave a comment, say hi, and share the love. That's the reason for making this video right now, is so that my subscribers, even though I haven't got many of them, will go and subscribe to all these other channels and watch their content, and some of these channels that maybe you didn't know about, you'll sign up for them. And that's the reason I'm doing this right now, really just to share the love. So go and subscribe, check out our content, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. The interesting thing about these housing settlements are that everyone's purchased their land separately, and so these houses here are left over from a period a long time ago, and so you get these massive mansions next door to houses like this where they've just kind of like left their things just hanging around. And that's something that I talk about in another video that I might have uploaded already or will be uploaded very soon, depending on when you're watching this. And that's the difference between a cottage settlement that's built by one company or a settlement where individuals buy pieces of land and build houses. The settlement built by one company is usually a lot cleaner because they build it all, finish it all, and it's done. Whereas the cottage settlement where people buy individual pieces of land, well, you could own your piece of land and build your house and it's really amazing, and then next door, you know, they might decide to build over the course of 15 years and just have loads of building waste scattered everywhere, and it's not nice. Just had a great chat with a guy that lives in the house just behind me. It's really interesting because sometimes people pop their head out the house and say, what are you filming? Why are you filming stuff here for? They immediately expect that you're going to be filming the worst and trying to make things look bad. But when you're from here, right, it's so much nicer just to be able to say, yeah, my name's this, I live here, you know, my friends live down there, have a chat, have a laugh. 10 minutes into the conversation, we were like best mates. And this is something that I really like about Russia, especially when it's your town, when you've lived here a while. You can find that connection with people. So next on the list, we've got our channel, which is completely new to me, that I've just started watching now. It was recommended to me by some of my subscribers in my Telegram chat group, and it's called Anfisa Belarus. Now I'm guessing the girl's name is Anfisa. I've searched her videos and I can't see if that's her name or not, but I'm guessing it is. and she shows life in Belarus, but she shows things that are very interesting, especially if you're a guy, because she shows all about girls in Belarus, the mindset of women in Belarus, what it's like in clubs, in bars and stuff like that, as well as lots of different aspects of life in Belarus. She's done a video with Irish Partisan, an Irish guy called Niall who lives in Belarus, who's got this channel Irish Partisan, who I reviewed in the previous video, and she seems like a really cool girl. So if you want to learn about life in Belarus, about clubs, about bars, about the mentality of Belarusian women, and about the things you can do in Belarus, things you wouldn't be aware of. I saw a video where she shows skyscrapers and Ferraris and stuff like that, not the kind of normal stuff that comes to mind when you think of Belarus. So if you're interested, go and subscribe to her channel, give her videos a like, write a comment, say hello, and share the love. This is another example of what it's like to live on a cottage settlement where you just purchase your own plot of land, and why people have huge fences, because your next door neighbour, well, they're building, look, you can see 4 houses in a row, and I'm guessing this building material is going to be there for a while. It's not going to look the nicest, and that's why houses like this, they have the big fence so that they can just keep heaven just behind the fence. Wow, I can see a really cool house over there with the green roof. Can you see it just there? Oh man, I want to get to that and have a look at it. There is actually an incredible house behind this wall, but you can't really see it. Let's see if I can get a bit higher. The next channel on this list is Cirata. It's run by a guy called Sergey, and it's a documentary style channel. He makes documentaries about mainly the Soviet Union and life in the Soviet Union, and lots of little obscure things that you wouldn't think of. It's really interesting to learn about the Soviet Union, because really foreign countries taught just the bad things to the people about the Soviet Union, and there's lots of interesting kind of quirky facts that we don't even think about. And that's what I love personally as well, when I interview like babushkas on the street, because they'll tell me things about life in the Soviet Union that you didn't know existed. We all expect the Soviet Union just to be this poor, horrible place, but it wasn't. It was actually really interesting, and existed for about, what, 80 years. So it was very interesting to learn about life in the Soviet Union. And on this channel, I watched one video about sex in the Soviet Union. Very interesting, because sex was like a taboo. It's like there wasn't sex in the Soviet Union, but of course there was. It was just not talked about in public. It was like an underground thing, right? Obviously people had sex, but sex was just to create children, right? There wasn't actually enjoyment from it, or was there? Go and watch his channel and learn more about it. Very, very interesting. I will definitely be watching more of Sergey's videos. Cirata, go and subscribe. You'll really enjoy it. So this is a side view. It's very windy right here. Even though I've got my wind muffler on, it might still be windy. Do you fancy living here? There's a plot of land going. I'm guessing that's going to be a few million rubles at least. So the next channel, I'm probably going to murder the name, the Oliggos. I hope I'm saying that right. So this is a family that lives in the wildest area of Russia, and it's a very cool kind of documentary style videos that they make, just showing daily life for the family in the region. We're talking a region, so the village that they live in, they don't have any roads, right? I don't even know how you get there. It's like completely isolated. There's probably no internet there. I guess the phone doesn't work there. It's completely isolated, and it's like they're living in a different time. It's very, very interesting. And also they make videos about different areas in Russia and different kind of tribes and different kind of aspects of rural Russian life. Very, very interesting. The videos are hugely popular. There's no talking, it's just filming, lots of nice sounds, cooking, water, all that kind of stuff, chopping wood, all the stuff that just makes you relax. And of course it's in Siberia, so that's incredible. So go and check out the channel, the Oliggos. Oliggos, is that right? I'm probably murdering the name. Go check it out, leave a comment. I'm sure you'll really, really enjoy it. So I've walked over here and it's turned into a building site. Oh dear. So we're now down to the last two. But just before I tell you about the last two, I want to tell you about part 2 of the first video that I filmed. Foreign YouTubers in Russia is coming soon as well, because a lot of people said to me, you've missed quite a few foreign YouTubers off the list. So I've gone back, I've listened to people's advice, and I'm making a part 2, so that'll be coming out in a week or so. We've got a leprechaun here. Is that what he is? Blimey. Looks like from a scary movie. We've got another pink house here. What do you think of pink houses? Wow, and look at this one. You'd be able to find this one in the dark, no problem. If you had a few too many vodkas and you need to find your house, no problem at all. Look at these trees in the garden. We've got a very old bear there in a cage, very weird. So literally one street away from all those beautiful new houses, we've got hens and chickens just walking around doing their thing. This is Russia. And look at this, we've got a mirror. Why have we got a mirror just there? That's weird, isn't it? Someone let me know why. Strange. So next we have the channel QuinB. Now I don't know the name of the lady who runs the channel. I've watched a few videos, but I still haven't been able to find out her name. But she films life in Yakutia. Now Yakutia is incredible anyway. Just a video about Yakutia is incredible because it's the coldest city on earth, just because of the general things you need to do just to survive there. So when you wake up in the morning, the most important thing you need to do is get the house warm, because it's freezing, right? So it's vital that you go out, you cut your wood, you boil your what's it called, your oven, right? You get everything heated up, because until you do that you could die, right? So it's just incredible to see the little things that we don't think about in day-to-day life are very vital there, because if you don't do them you'll die. So it's very, very interesting to see what difficulties the people go through to live in Yakutia. They obviously don't consider it difficulties, it's just normal, it's just life for them, yeah? But for people like me to think, wow, imagine having to do that every day just to survive. Life is so different there, and it's very interesting to watch and learn about life in Yakutia. So QuinB, I recommend to follow that channel. It's going to give you an aspect of life in Russia's coldest city, in fact the world's coldest city, right? Go and subscribe. I'd love to go inside this house. It looks abandoned, but we're not in an abandoned village, right? I'm sure the neighbours would look out and see that I'm going inside someone's house, so it's a no-go. But look at the contrast in Russia, it's incredible, isn't it? We've got this house here, and then next door we've got this huge, amazing house. So again, what I was talking about how people build things but then just leave the, you know, it's their land so they can leave the stuff on it, but it just looks horrible to live next to it. You build a new house and that's your view, you know. Now this area here, when it comes to this turn, always stinks of shit, because there's a problem with the plumbing somewhere and they can't resolve it between them. They need to get together and resolve it, but I guess someone doesn't want to pay a lot, someone wants to pay more, someone's not prepared to pay. They can't resolve the situation, so this whole area here, this maybe 100-meter stretch, just smells of poo. Pretty horrible. So the very last name on the list, last but not least, Vasa in the Hay. Now Sergey from the channel Vasa in the Hay, incredible guy, right? I know a lot of you love the channel Vasa in the Hay. You love to see how Sergey goes out and helps these people. A lot of you recommend that I make similar content, but I don't think I'm qualified as much as Sergey and his dad and their organization is, and they're able to help people a lot more than I am. They know about all the social programs, they know about all the things and the ways to help people, and I'm just like a novice with that, so I'm kind of like out of my depth. Now there's something you might not know about Vasa in the Hay, the channel. Vasa in the Hay, the channel, actually has a Russian version too, and the Russian version of his channel, the original version, has 2.9 million subscribers. 2.9 million. That probably makes it, I'm sure, the most popular channel on this list. Now, I'm guessing most of you don't watch that channel, you watch the English version. But it's interesting to learn, right, that it's like a whole organization they've got going. It's not just like a little channel, even though the channel in English is a pretty big channel as well. Imagine the Russian channel, 2.9 million subscribers, and it's growing. Because in Russia, people care about other people that aren't living as well as them. It's not like it's often portrayed that no one really cares, there's just rich people here and the poor people no one gives a shit about. But that's not true. It's not true at all. And people like Sergey from Vasa in the Hay, the channel, they do amazing, amazing work, and I respect Sergey so much for the work he does, for the help that he gives to people, the advice he's able to give, the lives he's able to change. Incredible guy. So he doesn't deserve to be last on this list, but he's last but not least. So that's it. That's all the Russian YouTubers who create content in English. All the links are below. So if you go to the description area, you'll find a link to every channel that I've spoken about today, and you can go and you can subscribe to their channel. So this is what I'm saying. Obviously they're going to clear this rubbish up, yeah, but you know, if you live here and your house is done, and then you have to live next door to another one while they build, it's difficult. Now this house, I can see immediately they've made a mistake, because the house is on a slope and the snow is going to be up to the windows. What have they thought about there? That's madness. So right, that's the end of the video. Now usually I finish the video by asking you to subscribe to my channel. If you like, go and subscribe to all the other channels that I've mentioned today. In the description area below the video you can find the links to all of their channels. Go and share the love, share this video so other people can find these amazing YouTubers and subscribe to their channels and gain them some subscribers and likes. Leave a comment, help them to make money on YouTube, because they create great content and they deserve it. Also, if you want to join my Telegram group, in the first comment below this video you can click and join my Telegram group, completely free. Lots of banter, ask me any questions about anything to do with Russia that you want. Also, if you want to support the channel, there's a way to do that. It's up to you, completely up to you. If you want to, do it. If you don't, it's completely fine. I want to leave with this message. One of my friends, Martin, who has a channel called Russian Travels, lives in the Orenburg region of Russia, and they have experienced massive flooding in that area. Now, Martin built a house with his family, and literally about half a year ago they moved in, but because of the floods his house is like underwater now, completely ruined. Absolute nightmare. His wife's sister's house that they were going to stay in has also been flooded, so they're in a nightmare. They've still got to pay their mortgage. I mean, it's just horrible. So this is Martin. He's from Wales in the UK and he's living in Orenburg. Well, now he's kind of squatting because his house is flooded. It's ruined, he's going to have lost everything. So if you can support him, there is a link below this video in the first comment and also in the description to support Martin's channel. To support him, because he's homeless literally at the moment. So if you click on that link, it's a GoFundMe link, and we're collecting money so that we can give him that money to help him get back on his feet, because he's lost everything. So if you can donate, then donate. You know, I'm not going to say to you, you've got to donate. I'm not trying to force money out of you or anything like that. At least pray for him, right? Pray and donate, but pray. Pray for Martin and his family, because he's going to be living in a difficult circumstance for a long time to come now. And it must be heart-wrenching for him to have moved to Russia, to have built a house and then see it flooded. He's got a wife and kids that are going to school here. Absolute nightmare. So if you can help him, if you can, then click the link to the GoFundMe page and donate anything you can. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed making it. I've enjoyed sharing the love, and I'm hoping that all of the people that I mentioned are going to get more subscribers, more comments, more likes, make a bit more money from YouTube because of something that I've done for them. So share the video with anyone that wants to, anyone you think might want to see it, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.